Alrighty. Looks like my laptop camera is not working real quick here. Uh, okay, there we go. Okay, should be working. Cool, perfect. Alrighty. Now let's just make sure that we're actually live. Yes, we are. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to my live stream here. I am going to be going through and opening up a butt ton of Aetherdrift product. This is the newest set from Magic the Gathering. As you see here, I got all my piles set up ready to go. This set is a lot of fun. Uh, Playing in the pre-release, super fun. I went 3-0. I had a really good Selesnya vehicle deck that had the that first uncommon green vehicle that was previewed, Earth Rumbler, the one where you can exile an artifact or a creature from your graveyard to make it a creature, as well as being lucky enough to pull the March of the World ooze, which turns everything into a 6/6 ooze and gives you a free elephant if your opponent casts a spell when it's not their turn. So, very happy with this set. Also, my vehicle deck is prime for an upgrade because there's so many good cards in here that care about vehicles. Makes sense. So anyway, enough the preamble here. We're just gonna go ahead and get started. I've got a lot to open here. We're going to start with the regular Aetherdrift bundle. And once we're done with that, we're going to move into the Finish Line bundle, which has some upgraded goodies from the normal bundle, which is why it's a little bit more expensive. Then we are going to open up this play booster box, which I believe starting with Aetherdrift only has 30 packs as opposed to the previous 36. But this one does have a box topper, which could be really expensive, so it might even out. And then we're going to finish off by opening this collector booster as well as the couple of collector boosters that you get from the Finish Line bundle. So there's going to be a whole bunch of product to open up and a whole bunch of cards to go through. So let's get right into these cards. With. All right, so let's start off with the regular bundle here. Very nice that I'm going to have multiple boxes to put all this stuff in because I'm going to be streaming on KJ the Hero's channel later tonight playing Commander. So I'll need to clear all this stuff off before I have a chance to sort it all. It's going to take me a while. So we got a real cool little poster here. Not too sure what this card is, but it looks fantastic. Very Mad Max style. And then on the back here, it's got all the different teams that are participating in the Aetherdrift story with all their different kinds of vehicles. So you can see these are the 10 factions. What's the setting or inspiration of Aetherdrift? So, oh, you haven't played since the Dark? Okay, so lots to catch up on. The long and short of it is this takes Aetherdrift takes place a few years after the Phyrexian invasion that happened in the March of the Machines. Um, and after that happened, Omen Paths started opening up, so now anybody could go from plane to plane, not just planeswalkers, which real world lets them get away from planeswalkers being the main characters, because that was a big major complaint from players. Anyway, uh, the set takes place on Avishkar, which is the newly renamed Kaladesh. There's a real world and in world uh, reasoning for the name change, but using the in world reasoning, there was a revolution that happened shortly after the Phyrexian invasion, and a new power structure has been set up, and they decided to rename the plane Avishkar. Uh, and so this set takes place where there is a multiplanar race that's taking place to get the chance to win a legendary artifact known as the Aether Spark, which it it essentially gives somebody the ability to planeswalk. Yes, hence Aetherdrift. Yes, so it starts in Avishkar, playing formerly known as Kaladesh. Then it goes to Amonkhet, and then it goes to not Muldrotha. That's the creature's name. It goes to a plane that we haven't seen. Um, it hasn't had its own set, but it's where Muldrotha comes from. And then it goes, and then loops back to Avishkar. And the the main story is that there are multiple factions that are trying to get the spark. Uh, the main character, I suppose, that we're following is Chandra, who is racing to get the Aether Spark so that Nissa could regain a spark and planeswalk with Chandra. Because after the Phyrexian invasion, multiple planeswalkers lost their spark, and that's a big point of contention that a lot of former planeswalkers are trying to figure out. Well, what do I do now that I don't have a planeswalker spark? What can I do? But with the Omen Pass coming up, we can see a whole bunch of different characters in different settings, and so it's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's the long and short of the setting and inspiration of Aetherdrift. Uh, I would definitely recommend checking out the official Magic the Gathering videos. Good Morning Magic videos done by Gavin Verhey. He goes into a lot more depth about everything, which makes sense because he helped work on the set. So, cracking into this Aetherdrift bundle, which, by the way, I love the artwork. The artwork they've on these sets lately have been fantastic. Here is the divider that has a bunch of pop-out dividers and little tokens that you can use while you play. Little divider card here. The oversized spin down that has the Aetherdrift Racing Flag set logo on there. If the camera will focus a bit. I personally I like the idea that it's a checkered flag because it makes sense because it's a race, but a lot of people have been saying, oh, uh, I can't believe Magic is going, Fortnite on us, which, eh. Uh, just realized I have played Magic Duel of the Planeswalkers on Steam. I have actually not. That sounds like a fun game. I do have a Magic board game which I believe is similar, Duel of the Planeswalkers. I haven't played that either, but I'm excited to play that. Might have to check out Duel of the Planeswalkers. Okay, so the regular bundle here, it comes with 9 play booster packs, and also comes with the basic lands in the paper cases. It makes sense. I check all about planeswalkers. Yes, yeah, planeswalkers were the main characters of the stories for the longest time because they were the ones who could travel to the different settings. But now that we have omen paths, now any character can go through an open path and go from uh, Dominaria to Innistrad, as an example, and we can have different characters uh, interact that way. So here are the full art basic lands that we have in the set. They're all from the POV of the drivers, which I think is really cool. Opens up the narrative inspirations. Yes, it does. Because, like I said, that was a big thing was that we were always following planeswalkers with the story, and we were getting so many planeswalkers in different sets. The most that we've gotten recently was in Phyrexia All Will Be One. We had a total of 10 different planeswalkers, and half of them got completed and became Phyrexians. And so after March of the Machine, Wizards has tried to stick to one planeswalker in the main set for going forward. This one's kind of cheating a little bit because we have Chandra and also the Aether Spark, which is a legendary artifact planeswalker equipment. Bit of a mouthful, but it's also a lot of fun. Oh yeah, so I think of the five full art basics, I think my favorite is actually the island, just because I love the idea of, the blue red team for the set are pirates. They're fish pirates. The main leader of that is a shark. I just like the idea of a giant ship driving on the road. It reminds me a lot of Captain Stickybeard from Codename Kids Next Door, where he just has this giant pirate ship driving down the highway. It's pretty funny. Then we got a cycle here of regular basics, not the full arts. We will just place these right here. And then this is the bundle promo for the regular bundle, the Lumbering World Wagon, which is a star for vehicle. Power is equal to the number of lands you control. When this vehicle enters or attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tap that, and shuffle. Great. So, Sword of the Animist on a vehicle. That won't get disgusting in any way. Alrighty, and then this is just more basics. I'm just going to set this off to the side for now. I'm going to clean up a little bit here before I start. Not broken at all, no. Well, hey, so we've got Sword of the Animist. In one of the March of the Machine Commander decks, we got a living weapon that became the Sword of the Animist. Bitter Blossom, I believe it's named, which it does the same thing. And now we've got Lumbering World Wagon. So we've now got 3 different Sword of the Animist abilities. So, but this one is actually colored, so it can only go in decks if you're playing Commander strictly. It can only go in decks that have green in its color identity. So it is limiting a little bit in that sense, but I don't think it's going to be too crazy. All right. So let's begin here. We got Gear Seeker Serpent, a 5/6 Serpent with affinity for artifacts, so it can potentially cost just 2 blue. 6 mana, this creature can't be blocked this turn. So in limited, that's a good mana sink if you've got nothing else to do with your mana. Don't know how well it would work outside of limited. Swift Wing Assailant. Do you have the rarity list for the set on hand? I'm not too sure what a rarity list is. Is that just like how many rares, mythics, and all that there? Because I do not have that on hand. I could look it up. Um, they have since they switched to play boosters. They have, I believe, they decreased the number of commons in the sets. Like, is each card a common, uncommon, rare, except? Oh, okay, yeah. So, uh, as an example here, uh, with the black and white here, that means it is common. If it's silver, I think I have, yeah, right here. So if you see there that it's silver, that means it's uncommon. This one here is a rare because it's gold, and then the mythic one is going to be red. Yeah, it's built into the cards. I'm not sure when they start doing that, but it's just always been that way as long as I've been playing. I started playing during the Scars of Mirrodin block, so they've always been included for me. But yeah, so that's how you determine if it's rare. And usually they have the commons in the front and then the rare cards in the back. Legends or the Dark, yeah, Magic has certainly come a long way since 1993. All right, so we got Swift Wing Assailant, a 3/3 flyer with Start Your Engines, which is a brand new mechanic. So Start Your Engine says if you have no speed, it starts at 1. And here's the speed tracking token that they give you. It increases once on each of your turns when an opponent loses life, and max speed is 4, as you see on the back. Hey, I wasn't. Oh, that would just make you. Sorry, I was born in October of '94, so I was a baby. I wasn't even born when Magic came out. So, yeah, I apologize for making you feel ancient. It's just, Magic has always kind of been a part of my life ever since high school. It's, I'm actually in my living room, so I could go to my room, but then there wouldn't be anybody watching the stream. Anybody to watch on stream. So yeah. So start your engine. Your max speed is 4, and then when you hit your max speed, this creature becomes a 3/4 with vigilance. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes. All right. Gilded Goda, and I really hope some of these names I hope I pronounce correctly. So there's a 2/2 horse mount. Mounts were introduced in Outlaws of Thunder Junction. They're essentially vehicles, but they are creatures themselves normally as well. So whenever this creature attacks while saddled, create a treasure token, and it has saddle 1. So you need a creature with power 1, at least total power 1 or more. Tap it. This creature becomes saddled, and you can get the effect. Crash and Burn, 4 mana instant to choose one. Either destroy target vehicle or deal 6 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Goda is just sand skirt for horse. Oh, nice. I did not know that. So yeah, a 4 mana instant that could either destroy a vehicle or deal 6 damage to a creature or planeswalker. Not too sure how good that will be in like standard. Limited is probably really good. Siphon Fuel, 5 mana instant. Target creature gets -6/-6 until end of turn. You gain 2 life. That is definitely a late game instant right there. Avishkar Raceway. So there's a raceway for each of the 3 planes that Aetherdrift takes place on, and each of them has start your engines. They tap for colorless, and they have their own max speed effect. So for Avishkar Raceway, if you have max speed, you can pay 3 and tap to discard a card, then draw. Interface Ace. This was one of the stars of my pre-release deck that I built. This creature saddles mounts and cruise vehicles using its toughness rather than its power, and it's a 0/4. Whenever this creature becomes tapped during your turn, untap it. This ability triggers only once each turn. That is very powerful. We have one of the cycle, one of the 5 in the cycle of brand new, uncommon, legendary vanilla creatures. This is Tarian World Tyrant, a 9/7 dinosaur ooze for 3 green and 2. That's going to be so funny. I kind of want to build a deck around one of the when listing mana costs. Do you use the color code? Yeah, so it's Wooburg. It's W for white, U for blue, B for black, R for red, and G for green. So yeah, it's Wooburg. So yeah, this would be 2 GGG. Or I would just say two and 3 green, 3 green and 2. So tune up, 3 and a white for a sorcery. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If it's a vehicle, it becomes an artifact creature. So this can just permanently turn a vehicle from your graveyard into a creature. No need to crew it. Oh, here's the red one in the cycle. Tyrox Saurid Tyrant. It is a 4/1 dinosaur warrior for 2. That's actually pretty good for a 2-drop. My favorite so far of all the ones is the mono black one is a 7/2 crocodile for I believe 1 and 2 black. But I have a crocodile deck, so I'm a little biased on that. Roadside Blowout. This spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a permanent with mana value 1. Return target creature or vehicle an opponent controls to its owner's hand and draw a card. Alright, Count on Luck. First rare of all these packs that I'm opening. 3 red for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. We love some good impulse draw. We have a foil Gibberic Omnifor, just a 3/2 vanilla creature. Rugged Highlands, Gruul tap land that gains you a life. And then we have art card for I I love the idea of the homunculus names that they don't have vowels, but it makes their names very hard to pronounce. Venrixt, Verbose Host. I believe that is how that is said. All right, we've got a lot of packs to get through here. This is going to be quite a day. Alrighty, we have Engine Rat, a 1 mana 1/1 zombie rat with Death Touch, and pay 6 mana and have each opponent lose 2 life. That is definitely a late game card. Well, early game for Death Touch, but a late game mana sink there. Run Over, 2 mana instant, cost 1 less to cast. If it targets a mount or vehicle you control, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. So a nice little bite spell. Guidelight Optimizer, 2/1 robot. Tap to add blue, spend this mana only to cast an artifact spell or activate an ability. Yeah, I'll see you on the Discord. Oh, thank you. Thanks for stopping by, and I appreciate the follow. Thank you very much. Tell your friends. Alrighty, so that's a nice little uh, artifact mana rock there. Broadcast Rambler, 5 mana. When it enters, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying and crew 1. So it makes its own little thing to turn it into a creature. Oh, here's the poster art. Where did I put that? Right here. It's just like my for real. So this is Gastel Blockbuster. 3/2 Human Berserker. When this creature enters, you may sacrifice a creature or vehicle. When you do, destroy target artifact an opponent controls. That's a fun little thing, especially if you have a creature that you can sacrifice that's been like turned off by your opponent. It's very nice. You'll never escape me, Crabs. Not when I switch to maximum overdrive. Yeah! So this is a 2 mana instant. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains Death Touch and Indestructible till end of turn. I might want to put this into my standard deck because that is a very good card for 2 mana. Burner Rocket. 3/1 flash. When this vehicle enters, target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains trample until end of turn, and then crew 1. Very nice. Haunted Hell Ride. 3/3 vehicle. Whenever you attack, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains Death Touch till end of turn. Untap it. A Plow Through. 1 mana sorcery. Target creature you control fights target creature an opponent controls or destroy target vehicle. That is a good spell to have there in your decks. Hey, it's the blue shell! Mario Kart Blue Shell. This stuff like this is why people are complaining that Magic has become Fortnite. But I love references. I love when they take references and give a Magic twist on it. So, Spike Shell Harrier, 4 and a blue for a robot turtle, 4/4. When this creature enters, return target creature or vehicle an opponent controls to its owner's hand. If that opponent's speed is greater than each other player's speed, reduce that opponent's speed by 1. This effect can't reduce their speed below 1. So there's only, I think it's this and one other card that allows you to lower somebody's speed. Other than that, once you hit 4, once you hit max speed, you're pretty much there for the rest of the game. Oh, we got a showcase card here. Skybox Fairy. 4/4 flying vehicle with crew 2 and cycling 2 for 5 mana. Very nice. We got Bulwark Ox. 2/2 Ox Mount. Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Sacrifice this creature. Creatures you control with counters on them gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So it's Boromir on an Ox. Love that. But also specifically for creatures with counters. Pit Automaton, 0/4 construct with Defender, tap for 2 colorless to cat only to activate abilities, and pay 2, tap the next time when you next activate an exhaust ability this turn, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. Now we haven't hit an exhaust ability on these cards yet, but basically exhaust is a one-time ability that you can pay into to get some kind of benefit, usually putting counters on the creature, drawing cards, stuff like that. And the exhaust abilities specifically say only activate this ability once. Unless you're able to blink the creature, then you're able to reset it. And then we got an island, and then we have a pilot. Pilot token and a treasure token. I don't like the idea. I think this is going forward that all of these tokens are going to be double-sided. I don't like that from a collector's standpoint because, one, not all the tokens have the same back side. And two, if I'm missing a token, then it becomes confusing because I see other tokens there. It made sense for things like remastered sets or remastered or mastered sets, but in a main set, each token should have its own side, or at the very least, give us a product that has just all the tokens in the set. Like when you buy a box, a bundle box or a play booster box, just a little pack that includes one of each token in the set that you need. That'd be very nice. Howler's Heavy, I believe this is our first seal in Magic the Gathering, which is an elven seal, and it's funny. A seal pirate, 3/4 with cycling, 1 and a blue. When you cycle this card, target creature or vehicle an opponent controls gets -3/-0 until end of turn. Brightfield Mustang, 3/3 horse mount. Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, untap it and put a +1/+1 counter on it. That is very good. Hi! How are ya? First time chat. Look at that. Very special. Oh, you're so special. How's it going? Thank you for stopping by. Let's see here. Prowl Catcher Specialist. 2/1 Goblin with haste. And hey, and the exhaust ability that I was just talking about. 3 in a red, put 2+1/+1 counters on this creature. Activate each exhaust ability only once. Yeah, if you're able to. This isn't one that you would want to blink because you just getting rid of the counters. Unless you want to, like, reset to attack every time because it does have haste, so I guess that could work. Yeah. Packed Doll Terror, 3/4 toy artifact creature. When this creature or another artifact you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. You're just chilling. That is totally fair. Yeah, I'm just chilling myself. I'm just opening up packs and talking about Magic. There was somebody here earlier that I was just answering all their questions, any questions that they had, but they had to bounce for a bit. Let's see, Venom Sack Lagak. I love how that rhymes. Venom Sack Lagak. 2/1 Death Touch. When it attacks while saddled, gets +0/+3 until end of turn. Wreckage Wickerfolk. A Scarecrow 1/3 flyer. When it enters, surveil 2. I love that we're getting more Scarecrows. Guide Light Matrix. 2 mana. When an artifact enters, draw a card. And then you can pay 2 to pay 2 and tap to either make a mount saddled or make a vehicle crewed. That's pretty cool. I might want to put that in my vehicle deck. I just need to know what I want to cut for that. We got another tune up here. Another Tyrox. Another Roadside Blowout. Demonic Junker. 6 and a black for a 4/4 vehicle with affinity for artifacts. When this vehicle enters, for each player, destroy up to 1 target creature that player controls. If a creature you control was destroyed this way, put 2+1/+1 counters on this vehicle. So that's pretty cool. So you could potentially play this for 1 mana and then just get a whole bunch of benefits. Ooh, we got a multi-rare pack here. Uh, Sita Varma, Masked Racer. He's from. Oh, nice! Glad that he was able to jump in. Yeah, I wasn't too because he said see on the Discord. I posted this. I posted that I was going live to like 3 or 4 different Discords, so I wasn't too sure who was going to join in. But yeah, nice to see somebody from our Discord. So this is one of the Seed of Varma is actually one of the main characters from the Aetherdrift story. So this is pretty cool. Human Rogue 2/3 exhaust X green green blue. Put X+1/+1 counters on Sita Varma. Then you may have the base power and toughness of each other creature you control become equal to Sita Varma's power until end of turn. So this is a late game finisher right there. Jesus, it's very powerful there. Veloheart Bike. When this vehicle enters, you gain 2 life. Tap for a mana of any color and crew 2. So you can either use it as a creature or the mana source. That's nice. Got a full art planes here and another start your engines token. Ooh, I can tell this is going to be a long stream because I'm still going through the packs from the first bundle, and I've already been live for about half an hour. So this is going to be a long one, but it should be fun. Sky Streak Engineer, 1/3 flying, and another one exhaust ability that's just put 2 counters on this creature. I think, if I'm not mistaken, each exhaust ability puts counters on the creature, so that way you can be able to tell that the exhaust ability has been activated. It could get confusing though if you put counters +1/+1 counters on it before you exhaust, because then you're not too sure if you've activated the exhaust ability or not. Brightfield Glider, 1/1 Vigilance Possum Mount. When this creature attacks while saddled, it gets +1/+2 and gains flying until end of turn. This is a fun little turn 1 that I played in my pre-release deck. Lightning Strike deals 3 damage to any target. I believe Lightning Strike is the promo card for the standard currently, because starting back 3 sets ago, Thunder Junction, when you win, if you win a standard event, you get a special promo card that has art inspired by Cowboy Bebop. And so it was going through the five colors: white, blue, black. Now we're on red, and that's Lightning Strike. And it looks like a Halo energy sword if you've ever played Halo. I really want it, which means I really need to win a standard event once between now and when the next set comes out. So yeah, Lightning Strike, deal 3 damage to any target. Maximum Overdrive again. Run over. Light Wheel enhancements. Uh, 1 mana aura, enchant creature or vehicle, start your engines. Enchanted permanent gets +1 and +1 and has vigilance. And at max speed, you can cast this card from your graveyard. More of an opportunity for others to potentially join in and such. Yes. Yes, I'm hoping so. Because a couple of weeks ago when I opened up packs for Innistrad Remastered, I don't think I. Well, I certainly didn't have anybody in chat, but I think I got like one viewer total. So I figured this time I would like broadcast more and as much as I could, Twitter, Blue Sky, all these different Discord servers, be like, hey, I'm gonna go live for opening cards. Who wants to watch and come say hi? So yeah, fun little thing there. Another Veloheart bike. Defend the Rider. 1 mana instant. Choose one. Target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn, or you make a 1/1 colorless pilot. Is good offensively and defensively. I love it. Trade the Helm. Oh god. This card is so ridiculous. 5 mana sorcery. Exchange control of target artifact or creature you control and target artifact or creature an opponent controls. So just permanently steal one of your opponent's cards for the game. Risen Necro Regent. 5/4 zombie cat knight. Start your engines, and at max speed at the beginning of your end step, you make a 2/2 black zombie. That's pretty good for late game. Broadside Barrage. Deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker, draw a card, then discard a card. We love that. That's what they got here. Hey, I got a card that Jeremy actually really wants. I got Duretti. Duretti Rocketeer Engineer, Star 5 Goblin Artificer. Power is equal to the greatest mana value on artifacts you control. When Duretti enters or attacks, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, return the chosen card to the battlefield. So yeah, if I manage to get another Duretti, or even if I get a showcase Duretti, that can go straight to Jeremy. We got a foil Guidelight Optimizer, foil Jungle Hollow, which is the black-green life gain land. Ooh, we got a signed art card for one of the Gear Hulks. This is the Bright Glass Gear Hulk. That's really pretty. Look at the gold. Gosh, I love that. I love the showcase arts. I hope I can pull one to show you. Otherwise, I can just grab it. But I forget the name of the art style, but I was like, as soon as you see the art style, you would be able to recognize it. Alrighty, we got another Guidelight Optimizer, Broadcast Rambler, Gastel, Blockbuster, Engine Rat, Stampeding Scurryfoot. 1 mana, 1/1 mouse with an exhaust ability to put a counter on it and make a 3/3 elephant. It's a very fun card. I like that. Midnight Mangler, 3/3. During turns other than yours, this vehicle is an artifact creature, so you can actually block with it on your opponent's turns. It's a very nice card there. Aether Jacket, 3 mana Thopter, 2/1 Flying Vigilance. Tap, pay 2 and tap, sacrifice this creature, destroy another target artifact only as a sorcery. Spell Pierce, very glad that they reprinted this and put this back into standard. Counter target non-creature spell unless its controller plays 2. Wild Roads. This is part of a cycle of lands for this set. Enters tapped unless you control a mount or vehicle. Tap for green. Pay 1 in a green. Tap, sacrifice this land to make a pilot. Pride of the Road. 2/5 Zombie Cat Warrior. Vigilance, start your engines. At max speed, at the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature or vehicle you control gains double strike. That's very powerful. Glad you posted it to let people know. Maybe it still will be pretty clever now people know this account exists. Growth may be slow, but just keep doing stuff like this and your peeps will find you. Yep, definitely. I eventually want to start, set figuring out the setup to stream like computer games. Like I want to play Magic Arena on Steam. There are a couple of games coming out that I'm looking forward to that I want to play. Namely one that started on TikTok as like just like a test animation thing that's since been being become is gone from that to being turned into a full-fledged game. It's called Dino Blade. It's basically a Souls-like game where you play as a Spinosaurus going around slicing up other dinosaurs with swords. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yes, I hope it will be amazing. Alrighty. End Rider Spike Spitter. Say that 5 times fast. 3/4 with reach. Start your engines. Max speed at the beginning of your upkeep. Exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Again, we love Impulse Drawer. Impulse Drawer? Drawer. Uh, Zahur Glory's Past. White, black, 3/2 zombie cat warrior. Start your engines. Sacrifice another creature, surveil one, activate only once each turn. And max speed, whenever a non token creature you control dies, create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. So that's cool. You can do that on your opponent's end step to sacrifice a creature, surveil, and then if you have max speed, you make a token to replace that with. We got a foil crash and burn, scoured barrens, the white black life gain land, and then we got another showcase Gear Hulk artwork, Coalstoke Gear Hulk. I believe that is the black red one. I hope I hope for the art cards they did the full cycle for all of those because those just look really pretty. All right, another Gastel Blockbuster, Maximum Overdrive, Stampeding Scurryfoot, Howler's Heavy, Brightfield Mustang, Prow Coucher Specialist, the regular artwork for the Skybox Fairy. I'd like to see that. Pride of the Road, End Rider Spike Spitter, Rover Blaze. I believe this is our first equipment vehicle. Uh, double 2/2 double strike. Equipped creature has double strike. Equipped for 4 or crew 2. Very important in the reminder text. Creatures can't be attached to other permanents, so you can't crew this as a vehicle. Crew this to turn it into a creature and then equip it. It's either going to be equipment or a creature. Transit Mage, the last one in the cycle of these kind of cards that we got. When this creature enters, you may search your library for an artifact card with mana value 4 or 5, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. There's a whole cycle of these that's like get an artifact with mana 1 or less, 2 mana, 3 mana, 6 or more. So this is the one that finishes the cycle there. Gas Guzzler. 1 mana, 2/1 with start your engines. This creature enters tapped. Max speed, pay black, sacrifice another creature or vehicle to draw a card. That's a very good sacrifice outlet there. Brightfield Mustang, Basic Island, and another start your engine token. All right, I've only got 3 packs left for this first bundle, and then we're going to open up the Finish Line bundle. That one has less packs because it also has collector boosters, and I think I'm just going to set those collector boosters aside and open all the collector boosters I have at the end. All right, Guidelight Optimizer, Broadcast Rambler, Gastel Blockbuster, Engine Rat, Stampeding Scurryfoot. That's 3 Stampeding Scurryfoots in a row for green. Trip Up. Target non-land permanent's owner puts it on their choice of the top or bottom of their library for 4 mana, and then it's got cycling. Wreck Mover. When this creature enters or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. You gain 1 life. Pretty cool. Unswerving Sloth. That looks like like how there used to be like giant sloths back millions of years ago. That's what it kind of looks like. Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, it gains indestructible until end of turn. Untap all creatures you control. I love that. All right, Thundering Brood Wagon. Menace and Reach. When this vehicle enters, destroy target non-land permanent an opponent controls with mana value 4 or less. Crew 3, and it has Cycling 2. It's a really good. I think that's a good card. Stock Up. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put 2 of them in your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. We got a Showcase Burner Rocket, which we've already seen the regular one for. Ooh, we got our first mythic of all these packs. We've got Thunderous Velocipede. 3 mana, 5/5 vehicle with trample. Each other vehicle and creature you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it if its mana value is 4 or less. Otherwise, it enters with 3 additional +1/+1 counters. So you want to play a lot of big creatures with this card to get really big. I might put that in my Worms deck just because it's a lot of powerful creatures that want to get bigger. Foil Pride of the Road, Thornwood Falls, which is the green-blue one, and we've got a Thopter and a cat. Alrighty. Next pack here, Brightfield Mustang, Thunderhead Gunner, 4/5 Shark Pirate with Reach. Discard a card, draw a card, activate only as a sorcery, only once each turn. Packed Doll Terror, Venom Sack Lagak, Howler's Heavy, Night Market. This land enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color, and tap to add 1 mana of the chosen color, and cycling 3. That's a very good card for limited, probably standard. I don't know about commander. Another Guidelight Matrix, another Rover Blades, another Transit Mage. Ooze Patrol. It's an Ooze card here. When this creature enters, mill 2 cards and put a +1/+1 counter on this creature for each artifact and or creature card in your graveyard. It's a fun one. Hellish Sideswipe. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Destroy target creature or vehicle. If the sacrificed permanent was a vehicle, draw a card. And we got Market Back Walker. Double X to cast. So this creature enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. So if you paid 4 mana into this, X would be 2. So it would enter with 2 counters. 4 mana to put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, and when this creature dies, draw a card for each +1/+1 counter on it. Very good. Got a foil Hull Drifter. Flying, when this vehicle enters, draw 2 cards and crew 3. Fun little reference to the Mole Drifter creature. Foil Basic Forest, and we've got a Treasure and Thopter token. Alright, this is the last pack of the regular bundle, and then we move on to the Finish Line bundle, and then the booster box. Alrighty, Packed Terror, Venom Sack Lagak, Midnight Mangler, Voyager Quick Welder. Artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Pretty good. Thunderhead Gunner, Ripclaw Wrangler. When this vehicle enters, each opponent discards a card. And crew 2, very nice. Veloheart Bike, Intimidation Tactics. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or creature card from it. Exile that card. Oh, this could be very good in my standard deck potentially. Sundial Dawn Tyrant. This is the white creature of the cycle of vanilla legendary creatures, and arguably, people are saying this is the worst one because it's just a 2 mana. It's a 2 mana 3/3. That's nothing too special, but I mean the red one is a 2 mana 4/1, so you do have big power, but I don't know. I think they all have their uses. We've got Marauding Mako, a 1 mana 1/1 Shark Pirate. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. It's very good. Molt Tender, an Insect Druid. Tap to mill a card, or tap to exile a card from your graveyard to add 1 mana of any color. And we got Samut, the Driving Force. This is a cool commander here. 4/5 with First Strike, Vigilance, and Haste. Start your engines. Other creatures you control get +X/+O, where X is your speed. Non-creature spells you cast cost X less to cast, where X is your speed. So you want to get your speed up as high as possible, and then you get bigger creatures and cheaper spells. That's a nice commander. Air Response Unit, this is our foil. 3/3 Flying Vigilance, crew 1. Swiftwater Cliffs, the blue-red, life gain land. And then our card for Gastel Blockbuster. Alrighty. So, that is the regular bundle. Now we move on to the Aetherdrift Finish Line bundle, which this also includes box toppers in it. They haven't done box toppers for a bit, so I'm excited to see what's going to come out of this. because there can some of the cards you can get from the box toppers are ridiculously expensive. I will just have to see. All right, open that up. Again, we look at the design here. It's all of the different teams that are participating in the race. Again, we got a divider here that comes with different divider tokens. Nice. Uh, these I believe are stickers. Yeah, mana symbol stickers. So I imagine if you have like drawers that you keep your bulk in that are sorted by color, you can stick one of these on the outside of the drawer. So like you put one for your white drawer, your blue drawer, black drawer, all that. I want to open this up so I can see them all. Eh. Oh, okay, there we go. So yeah, white, blue, black, red, green. These look really cool. I need something to put these on. We'll set these off over here to the side. And then we've got the spin down for the finish line bundle, which I think I agree with other people, but they say that this is not as good as the other one because on the box it looks like it's metal, but it's not. And then the way that they do the color for this, it kind of makes it hard to read. And if you pay attention, like if you look here, you can see it, the design's already kind of fading, even though I just opened this. So of the two, I like the blue one from the regular bundle more. And there's that. Okay, and then we've got. Let's open this up. Be careful, because there are different bundle promo cards with each of the different bundles. This one has a borderless foil for the three different raceways here, and there's Muraganda. That's the name of the third plane that takes place on. Then we got foils here, and then we got a full set of foil first place artwork, full art basics for the set. And these are okay. I've definitely seen mixed feelings on the first place foil treatment here because it just makes everything yellow. I don't think they all look that great. Although I do have to say, I think the either the plains or the mountain looks the best in the yellow treatment here. So we are going to set these lands off to the side again. Put these here. Actually, put yeah there and here, and got some reminder cards here. These are two collector packs from the bundle that we're also going to set to the side and open with the other collector pack. But I will open this box topper right now. I want to see what's in here because this could be a card that's like over $500 if it's the Chromox in here. Oh, why do they have to make these so difficult to open? Ugh. Yeah, there we go. I don't want to I don't want to bend the cards that are in here or anything. Just make them easier to open, wizards. Goddamn. All right, so we got a swamp. Ooh. Now I don't know if Jeremy would actually want this. I guess he would have to look at it and decide if he wants to use this for it. But I'll show him later. That looks nice. All right, we're gonna move the bundle box out of the way. Put the packs over here. And let's get going into more play boosters. Okay. So these play boosters have the rares in the front, and also the token was completely mangled at the top there. I don't hope that doesn't bode. I hope that doesn't uh, bode poorly for the rest of the cards in this. So we got a Thopter and a Goblin. I love the look of this Goblin. We got a Swamp here. We have a foil. This is the regular artwork for the Lumbering World Wagon. That's cool, but that means we got two rares because this is our foil, which means the thing behind this is also a rare or a mythic. It's the homunculus. It's Vinrixt. I'm hoping that that is how I say it because homunculus don't have vowels in their names, so it makes their names so difficult to pronounce. Unless you're famous like Thibblethip. So Venrix the Verbose Host, a 0/4, start your engines, you have no maximum hand size, and then when you hit max speed, you draw two cards instead of one whenever you draw. Pride of the Road, Spikeshell Harrier, Molt Tender, Rangers Aether Hive, 3/5 Vigilance. When you activate an exhaust ability, you make a Thopter. Light Wheel Enhancements, Aether Jacket, Velahard Bike, Spin Out to destroy target creature or vehicle. Spot Cycle Scouter, when this vehicle enters Scry 2 and then Crew 1. Magmakin Artillerist, a 1/4 Elemental Pirate. Whenever you discard one or more cards, this creature deals that much damage to each opponent. Cycling 1 and a red. When you cycle this card, deals 1 damage to each opponent. Spectral Interface. Counter target artifact or creature spell unless its controller pays 4. I feel like that's more of a sideboard card. I don't know if I would main deck that, even though it's a 2-mana counter, because it only hits a couple of things. We have art card for Spot Cycle Scouter. Ooh, the showcase, and it's stamped. Stamped signature. Love it. Alright, we got Basic Forest, Foil Mutant Surveyor. I think this is our first mutant outside of the Fallout cards. 2/3 for a Mutant Scout. Start your engines, pay 2. This creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Max speed, pay 3, exile it from your graveyard to draw a card. That's pretty good. Sunbillow Verge. This is part of the second cycle of Verge cards because we got the allied colors from Duskmourn. Now we have the enemy colors. So this is tap for white or tap for red. Activate only if you control a mountain or plains. We got another tune-up. Reef Roads. This is the blue sack land to make the blue pilot land. I think we'll just call them pilot lands. Dracosaur Auxiliary. 4 and 2 red for a 4/4 Dinosaur Dragon Mount. Flying in haste. When this creature attacks while saddled, deals 2 damage to any target. And saddle for 3. Wickerfolk Indomitable. You may cast this card from your graveyard by paying 2 life and sacrificing an artifact or creature in addition to it paying its other cost, and it's a 4/3. That's a nice little piece of recursion. Interface Ace, Lotus Guard Disciple. This is a really good card. I think this might even be a really good commander card. A good target to exile and then immediately return to the battlefield. 2/2 flying. When this creature enters, target creature or vehicle gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. There was somebody who was playing this in one of their decks at the pre-release. They thought it said flying or lifelink or indestructible, but no, it's both, which makes that card very good. It's a very good common. Silken Strength aura with flash. Enchant creature or vehicle. When this aura enters, untap enchant a permanent. Enchant a permanent gets +1/+2 and has reach. Another Wreckage Wickerfolk, Swiftwing Assailant, Thunderhead Gunner, and Nimble Thopterist. I am really glad to be able to just sit back and crack packs because I have definitely had a week and I deserve all of the serotonin that I am getting. Burner Rocket. Oh, that's the showcase artwork. Cool. Full Art Swamp. Foil Nimble Thopterist. Curse Cloth Wrappings. Oh, this is a very good card. And if anyone finds the fractal foil artwork version of this from like the collector boosters, We checked it the price yesterday. It was over $160. This is just such a good card. It's a two black for an artifact. Zombies you control get +1/+1. Tap target creature card in your graveyard gains Embalm until end of turn. The Embalm cost is equal to its mana cost. And if you're not familiar with Embalm, like me, because I didn't actually play in the set when that mechanic came out, exile that card and pay its Embalm cost. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a white zombie in addition to its other types, and has no mana cost. Embalm only has a sorcery, so you can just recur all of your creatures from your graveyard for a second time, basically. Canyon Vaulter, a core pilot. When this creature saddles a mount or cruising vehicle during your main phase, that mount or vehicle gains flying until end of turn. Trade the Helm. Point the Way, a 1 mana enchantment that starts your engines. 3 and a green. Sacrifices enchantment. Search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is your speed. Put those cards on the battlefield tapped and then shuffle. So you could just ramp out a whole bunch at some point in the game. It also helps thin out your deck when you're looking for specific cards. Sky Crash, destroy target artifact, and then cycling. Dynamite Diver. This creature saddles, mounts, and cruise vehicles. It's though its power were 2 greater. When this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. That's just funny. Pothole Mole, the second Mario Kart reference, because these are the Monty Moles. When this creature enters, mill 3 cards, and you may return a land card from your graveyard to your hand. It's always fun. Engine Rat, Broken Wings, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Always a good card. Collision Course, choose one. Deals X damage to target creature, where X is the number of permanents you control that are creatures and or vehicles, or just destroy target artifact. Gilded Goda, and Trip Up. Perfect, perfect. I saw your notification from the Discord. All right. Uh, Showcase artwork for Bright Glass Colossus. Is this the one that we found earlier that was signed? Yes, it is. So that's the second one there. All right, we got a foil Thornwood Falls. Ooh, 2 foils. Foil Racer's Scoreboard. Start your engines. When this artifact enters, draw 2 cards and discard a card. And max speed spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That's good in a generic deck. I'm dropping cards. Oh no, shoot. Oh, I don't know how much this is, but this is a very good card. I think this is one of the chase cards of the set, actually. Riptide Gearhulk. 1 white, blue for a 2/5 construct with double strike and prowess. When this creature enters, for each opponent, put up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls into its owner's library third from the top. Very good card there. Glory Heath Lynx. 2/3 lifelink. When it attacks while saddled, search your library for basic planes, reveal and put in your hand. Stock Up. Intimidation Tactics. Dredger's Insight. Enchantment. Whenever one or more artifacts and or creature cards leave your graveyard, you gain 1 life. When this enchantment enters, mill 4 cards. You may put an artifact, creature, or land card from among the milled cards into your hand. We got an Avishkar Raceway. Chitine Gravestalker. Costs 1 less to cast for each artifact and or creature in your graveyard, so 5/4 recycling 2. Alacrian Jaguar. One of those two. 4/4 Vigilance. When attacks when saddled, gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Packdoll Terror, Broadcast Rambler, Burner Rocket, and a Hull Drifter. Yeah, so I could have, here, I forgot to show off what each of the different raceways do. So Avishkar Raceway is the common. The max speed is pay 3 and tap, discard a card, and then draw. Amonkhet Raceway is max speed, tap to give a creature haste. And then Muruganda Raceway is the rare one, and that is, it basically turns it into a Soul Rain, where you can tap for 2 colorless instead of just 1. I've already been at this for an hour. Yeesh. Alrighty. Ooh, we got artwork for Winter Cursed Rider. This is very cool. A character who is returning from the previous Duskmorn set. Important to the story there. We got a forest. Uh, Foil Cloudspire Captain. Mounts and vehicles you control get +1/+1, and it crews vehicles and saddles mounts that had power 2 or greater. Ooh, we got a first place artwork. Oh, that's the district mascot. So yeah, this is the oh no, this isn't a first place art first place foil treatment. I think this is just the background. Made me think it was. But yeah, this is the artwork that I was talking about. That's like is very distinct, and I love this showcase artwork. And I don't know the name of the style, but I love it. So district mascot, it's a corgi. If I find the regular art, I'll show you. It's a nice little corgi. Dog mount enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. When it one in a green, remove two +1/+1 counters from this creature to destroy target artifact. When this creature attacks while saddled, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it has saddle 1. He's just a good little boy. A Lacrian Armory. Actually, I think it's a Lacrian. I'll just say a Lacrian. Lacrian Armory. Creatures you control get +0/+1 and have vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to one target mount or vehicle you control. Until end of turn, it becomes saddle if it's a mount and becomes an artifact creature if it's a vehicle. Again, very good card that I want to put in my vehicle deck. I just need to know what to take out. Ranger's Refueler. Whenever you activate an exhaust ability, draw a card. 4 mana to exhaust. This creature becomes an artifact creature and put a +1/+1 counter on it, so you no longer need to crew it. I feel like there's a hair or something on my nose because uh, it keeps bugging me. Anyway, Boom Scholar, Goblin Advisor. Exhaust abilities of other permanents you control cost 2 less to activate. Exhaust for 4 red-green creatures and vehicles you control gain trample until end of turn. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. So yeah, each exhaust ability just puts counters on it, so you know that it's been activated. Except Loot, I think. Well, Loot has 3 different exhaust abilities on his card. I don't think each of them puts a +1/+1 counter on him. I'll have to see if I find it. Uh, Sheffet Archfiend. Seriously, what is on my nose? Ugh, it's annoying. A 5/5 demon with flying. When this creature enters, all other creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. This could be a fun little thing to put into my standard deck because it wants to cheat out big creatures, and this could act as like a one-sided board wipe. Walking Sarcophagus. Zombie Cat, start your engines. Max speed, it gets +1/+2, so it becomes a 3/3. Migrating Ketrodon. 6/6 dinosaur with reach. When it enters, you gain 4 life, and it has cycling 2. Streaking Oil Gorger. Flying haste, start your engines. At max speed, it has lifelink. I love the flavor text on this. They feed on oil. Where were they during the Phyrexian invasion? But we've seen that if you ingest the Phyrexian oil, then you just become Phyrexian, so that wouldn't have actually worked out very well in your favor, Chandra. Venom Lagak, Light Shield Parry. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn and has cycling. Crash and Burn and Midnight Mangler. Alright, now we are on the last play booster of the first place, the finish line bundle, and we'll move on to the play booster box. So we have a vehicle token and the Chandra Spark Hunter emblem. So I hope that we can get Chandra. If Chandra's in this pack, that would be amazing. Bloodfell Caves, which is the red-green life gain land. A foil Migrating Ketrodon. Okay. Another Demonic Junker, so it's not Chandra. Oh, but we got a special guest card. Oh, this is cool. So we got Cavalier of Dawn. 4/6 Elemental Knight with Vigilance. When this creature enters, destroy up to one target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 colorless Golem artifact creature token. When this creature dies, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. That is very cool to get. First special guest of this, of all these cards that I've gotten. Nesting Bot. 1/1, start your engines. When this creature dies, you make a servo artifact creature token, and at max speed, it just becomes a 2/1. We got another Terrian, Marauding Mako, Scrap Compactor. Pay 3, tap, sacrifice it to deal 3 damage to target creature, or pay 6 to sacrifice it to destroy a creature or vehicle. Mid to late game support there. Ripclaw Wrangler, Beast Rider Vanguard. 2 mana for 2/2, or pay and then pay 5 mana. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a permanent card from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. That was a very good card in my pre-release deck. Spot Cycle Scouter, Endrider Catalyzer. 3/1, restart your engines, and then at max speed, you can tap it to add double red. That's actually pretty good. Keen Buccaneer, an Octopus Pirate. 2/3 with Vigilance and Exhaust. Draw a card, then discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. And then Daring Mechanic. Uh, 3 and a white to put a +1/+1 counter on target mount or view. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the flavor text here. Just a few more bolt shark on your right, and we should be good to go. Magic. Some of my favorite words on Magic cards have just been uh, flavor text. Like some of my favorite flavor texts are just one word flavor text. Like split the party. It's just don't, or lava axe is just catch. Alrighty. Well, now we are on to the Play Booster box, which will have another box topper, so we got another chance to pull something really good out of it. Alrighty. Alright, so this has the draft archetypes for if you're going to be drafting Aetherdrift. But then it's got the box topper right here, which you will carefully... Oh, this has some words about it. This box topper pack contains 2 gleaming first place foils, a tantalizing prize for a high stakes or friendly match against rival racers. Set this aside for would-be winners or claim the cards for your own collection. I will be claiming the cards for my own collection. Thank you very much. Alright, we're just going to set this box right here so it's within reach, and we will open up this box topper. Oh, that one was much easier to open. Alright, ooh, this is a different island. That's pretty cool. And then what's behind it? A repurposing bay. Okay, so no first place foil chrome mox that's worth over $500, but oh well. 2 tap, sacrifice another artifact, search your library for an artifact card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice artifact's mana value, put that card on the battlefield, then shuffle. So, birthing pod, but for artifacts. Alrighty, let's get into it. Oh, good, we're back to... So that was weird that the play boosters in the finish line bundle were backwards, where they had the rares in the front and the commons in the back, and now we're back to commons in the front, rares in the back. I prefer this better because it builds suspense. And I'm imagining that the collector packs are also rares in the front. So we got Hull Drifter, Light Shield Parry, Pedal to the Metal. Target creature gets +X/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. That could be a fun card to include in my standard deck. Deathless Pilot, sorry. Saddles, mounts, and cruise vehicles as though power were 2 greater. 4 mana to return it from your graveyard to your hand. Nice. Alacrian Jaguar, Aether Jacket, Light Wheel Enhancements, Defend the Rider, Risen Necrogent, Broadside Barrage. Oh hey, here's the shark that I was talking about earlier. Captain Howler Sea Scourge. A 5/4 shark pirate. It has ward, 2 mana, and pay 2 life. Whenever you discard one or more cards, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn for each card discarded this way. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player this turn, you draw a card. This is a very powerful card. Oh, I get a double rare. Look at that. Guardian Sunmare. 1 second. I'm being asked if I want things from Wendy's.
I was trying to be subtle.
That's okay. I don't know if they'll have pretzel bun, but
Do you just want to text me your order?
uh, baconator with fries and a cherry drink of some sort.
Do you want to text that to me?
I can.
Please do.
Are you ordering DoorDash?
No, we're going.
Okay.
Hi, Steven Stream. Bye, Steven Stream.
Baconator meal with. Gina says hi and bye. Baconator meal with cherry soda. Jen, the frosty thing is still on the counter. Bring that with you.
Oh, yeah.
We bought the we bought a little thing that you put on your keychain, and when you show it at the when you order at Wendy's and you show them it, you can get a free Junior Frosty, and it's good for all of 2025. Very very good investment there. All right, so we got Guardian Sunmare, 5/5 horse mount with Ward 2. When this creature attacks while saddled, search your library for a non-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. You've seen those? Yeah, they're. I think it's a very good value because it was only what, $3, $4.
Oh, I don't remember how much it was, but yeah, it was not a lot.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a lot. And you get a free Junior Frosty with every order for the whole year. I think that's pretty good. Foil light wheel enhancements, scoured barons land, and we got a pilot zombie token. Yes, absolutely. I agree. Yes, I agree.
Yes.
All right. Ooh, this is one of my favorite cards from the entire set, especially for upgrading one of my standard decks to make it standard legal again. Bounce off. It's just a 1 mana instant. Return target creature or vehicle to its owner's hand, which is especially good against mono red burn decks or decks that play cheap red creatures and pump them with a bunch of spells, and then they swing, and you're like, okay, you spent all that mana to buff this one creature. Put it back in your hand, please. And then you've only got one card in your hand, and it's the creature. I definitely want to put those in that standard deck to make it standard legal again. Light Shield Parry, Pedal to the Metal, Chitine Gravestalker, Alacrian Jaguar, Burner Rocket. Oh, Jeremy, before you go, I want to show you. I want to ask you. Um, do you want that? Okay. Because I opened regular to ready, and then I opened this out of the box topper from the bundle. So yes.
Oh, fuck.
So you get that is yours. Although I will ask you to trade it with me because we still also have that vampire to trade. Which, yeah, it was on the desk. That vampire. I don't know where it got moved to. If it's still on the desk.
Yeah, most of the jest cards got put. Actually, I think I just put them all in, like, the cards that were still on the desk, like, in a little row. I don't think I took any cards off the desk.
Okay. I will actually. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's the bloodthirsty conqueror. Good. I'll put Duretti there when I'm done here. All right.
Love you, baby. We'll be back.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
Alrighty. All right. So we got another walking sarcophagus, racer scoreboard, haunted hell ride, nesting bot, Lagoran Soul of Alakria. It's a 1/1 legendary creature, beast mount flying. Whenever Lagoran attacks while saddled, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target mounts and or vehicles. It's a good card. Ooh, Ovia Automech Artisan. Each creature that's attacking one of your opponents has trample. Pay a green and tap. You may put a creature or vehicle card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you put an artifact onto the battlefield this way, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Oh, that can be disgusting in the right deck. We got a foil Gear Seeker Serpent, Thornwood Falls, and a Start Your Engines token. Alrighty. Voyager Quick Welder, Thunderhead Gunner, Ripclaw Wrangler, Gibberic Omnivore, Spectral Interference, Aether Jacket, Trip Up, Voyage Home, Affinity for Artifacts. So you could potentially only pay 2 mana for this spell. You draw 3 cards and gain 3 life. Earth Rumbler. This is one of the first cards that was previewed and also basically the star of my pre-release deck. It is a 7/6 vehicle for 5 mana, Vigilance and Trample. Exile an artifact or creature card from your graveyard. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature until end of turn, and it has crew 3. So you can either use a creature you control to turn it into a creature for the turn, or exile something from your graveyard, and that leaves your other creatures free to turn to crew vehicles and mount the saddle mounts. Rocky Roads. I want the yeah, this is the red one for this cycle. I want the white one because that's country roads. West Virginia. We got another Venrext. I really hope that's how you're supposed to say his name. Double rare because we got Regal Imperiosaur. 5/4 dinosaur. Other dinosaurs you control get +1/+1. And this is only for 3 mana. That's pretty good. Ticket Tortoise. It's 3/1 with Defender. When this creature enters, if an opponent controls more lands than you create a treasure token. Admit 1, enjoy the race. I was thinking of putting this into Jen's deck because it's a turtle themed deck, but I don't really think that would work as well. We got a plains, and then an art card for the Start Your Engines. I don't know. I would have to look into it, but I think that might be the first art card for a token. I'll have to double check that. Okay, Venomsack Lagak, Midnight Mangler, Voyager Quick Welder, Thunderhead Gunner, Ripclaw Wrangler, Velohard Bike, Skybox Fairy, Broodheart Engine. At the beginning of your upkeep, Surveil 1, 2 black-green, tap, sacrifice as artifact, return target creature or vehicle card from your graveyard to the battlefield at a sorcery speed. That's pretty nice. Cloud Spire Sky Cycle. 2/3 flying vehicle. When this vehicle enters, distribute 2 +1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 other target vehicles and or creatures you control. An air response unit. Bleach Bone Verge. I think I have enough of these cards to put into my I could put one into my trade binder. Oh, look at that. Sob Seren Luxa Embodied. Somebody was looking for this, but this is the first one that I pulled, so this one's mine. This is a very interesting card. 6/6 God, reach, trample, indestructible. Sabseren can't attack or block unless it has an even number of counters on it. 0 is even. At the beginning of your first main phase, put a +1/+1 counter on Sabsunen. Then, if it has an odd number of counters on it, draw 2 cards. So you're either drawing 2 cards or you're attacking and blocking with a very big god. Collision Course, foil, mountain, and art card for Thunderous Velocipede Showcase. That's pretty neat. I did get excited. That card I played against in the pre-release event that I did, and I thought I was cooked. I thought I was screwed when I played against it, but then I realized While it is a good card for like drawing a bunch of cards and just being a big threat, the fact that as soon as as soon as it reaches the first main phase after you play it, it basically doesn't exist on the board because it can't attack or block, so you're free to swing with it. And then, if it it's when it attacks, but it's such a big creature. It's almost like kind of like a nuclear deterrent because you kind of want to hold it back to not not take a bunch of damage. But then if you do that, then you're pretty much not swinging with it, and then your next turn it gets another counter, but now it's got an odd number of counters, so you can't attack and block with it at all. It works best when you combine it with abilities that let you add or remove counters. So that say it's got 0 counters on your upkeep on your main phase, you add a counter and draw the 2 cards, and you either add another counter with an effect or remove that counter. Then you're able to attack and block with it, and then in your next turn, add a counter back on, draw cards, add or remove another counter, attack and swing. So it's a good card to build around. It's a very interesting strategy, and Simic loves to put counters on things and ramp as well. So it's a very interesting card to be certain. Alrighty, so let's look at this pack. Silken Strength, Flood the Engine, enchant creature or vehicle. When this aura enters, tap enchanted permanent. Enchanted permanent loses all abilities and doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So yeah, you can hold on to this, and then your opponent's frog god can just do nothing. That's a very fun card. Brightfield Glider, Crash and Burn, Engine Rat, Run Over, Interface Ace, Fang Druid Summoner, 2/4 Ape Druid with Reach. When this creature enters, you may search your library and or graveyard for a creature card with no abilities, reveal it, and put it in your hand. If you do search your library this way, shuffle. There we go. Country, take me home. Country roads, West Virginia. I don't want to sing the whole song because I don't want to get shot down. I would say demonetized, but I know I'm not earning money because I'm such a new person on Twitch. Gastel Rider. Start your engines. When this creature enters, target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an instant or sorcery card from it. That player discards that card. At max speed, this creature gets +1/+1 and has menace. Good card for limited. Not sure if it works for standard. Diversion Unit. 2/1 flying. Pay 1, sacrifices this creature. Counter targets instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 3. Oh, that's so sad. Oh no, this is sad. Look at the face. Look at the face on this card and then the flavor text. Declarative, goodbye. Oh no, I'm getting Mars rover flashbacks. Why do you do this to me, wizards? No. Alright, I gotta distract myself. What's this? Waxen Shape Thief. 0/0 shapeshifter with flash. You may have this creature enter as a copy of an artifact or creature you control, and then cycling for 2. Loxodon Surveyor. It's foil. Start your engines, max speed, pay 3, exile this card from your graveyard, draw a card. Forest. Art card for Rocketeer Boost Buggy. I love the art for like I'm such a broken record when it comes to that. The art for Magic as of late has been exceptionally good. Unless there's an instance where either one, the artist clearly stole artwork or stole artwork from another artist and used it as their own for the card without giving credit, which has happened recently on a couple of cards. Or it's very obviously like AI, but I don't think any cards have actually been made with AI art. They've just been like accused of it, like the full art lands from Murders of Karlov Manor. People were saying those were AI generated, but I don't think any cards officially have been revealed to have been made with AI art, and I hope it stays that way. So let's see. We got Broadcast Rambler, Gas the Blockbuster, Maximum Overdrive, Stampeding Scurryfoot, Howler's Heavy, Light Wheel Enhancements, Aether Jacket, Boom Scholar, Foul Road. So now I have one of each of the roads. Canyon Vaulter, Red Shift Rocketeer Chief, 2/3 Vigilance, tap, add X mana of any one color where X is Redshift's power, spend this mana only to activate abilities. Exhaust for 10 red green, put any number of permanent cards from your hand onto the battlefield. This was a commander in the most recent Game Nights episode, and it gets very nutty. This is a really powerful card. Oh, speaking of really powerful cards, Full Throttle. 4 and 2 red for a sorcery. After this main phase, there are 2 additional combat phases. At the beginning of each combat this turn, untap all creatures that attacked this turn. This ends games. This straight up ends games. We got a foil lightning strike, a scoured barons, and a pilot treasure token. We are just rocketing through these packs. Hazard of the Dunes. I have a worm deck, and I'm considering putting this in there because it is a 4/4 worm with trample and reach. You activate the exhaust ability to put 3+1/+1 counters on it. For a 4 mana creature, I think this is pretty good, especially in a worm's deck. Nimblethopterus, Swiftwing Assailant, Kick Off Celebrations. Start your engines. When this enchantment enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. At max speed, sacrifice this enchantment. Creatures and vehicles you control gain haste until end of turn. Oh my god, copy that combo with Redshift? That's amazing. Starting Column. 3 mana rock, start your engines, max speed, sacrifice this artifact, draw 2 cards and discard a card. It's decent. Velahart Bike, Skybox Fairy, Greenbelt Guardian. Now this, I think, is a fantastic uncommon that could see a lot of play in, especially standard. Uh, Pay 1 green, target creature gains trample to the end of turn. So that's repeatable. You can do that as many times as you want. And then exhaust ability is to put 3+1/+1 counters on this creature. So you play this mid game when you have enough mana. You could swing with it, activate its exhaust ability to make it a 5/5, and then give it trample, which is very good. We got an Amonkhet Raceway, Outpace Oblivion, another enchantment with Start Your Engines. When this enchantment enters, it deals 5 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Sacrifice this enchantment, it deals 2 damage to each player who doesn't have max speed. So if you're playing standard and you're playing against someone who doesn't have any Aetherdrift cards, that could be a very good way to just deal damage. Guidelight Pathmaker. Vigilance. When this vehicle enters, you may search your library for an artifact card and reveal it. Put it onto the battlefield if its mana value is 2 or less. Otherwise, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Gastel Thrill Roller. 4/2, trample and haste. When this vehicle enters, it becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Crew 2, 2 and a red, discard a card. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Activate only as a sorcery. And a finality counter, if a creature with a finality counter leaves the battlefield, or if it would die, it gets exiled instead. We got a foil Brightfield Glider. We got Windscarred Crag. Red-white, gain life land, and another max speed token. I hope I'm at least entertaining and me just reading off these cards is not dull in any way. I do like to try and give my opinions on these cards as I'm reading them for the first time. All right, we got Gearseeker Serpent, Lotus Guard Disciple, Gilded Goda, Spin Out, Loxodon Surveyor, Migrating Ketradon, Stall Out, tap target creature or vehicle, then put 3 stun counters on it. They made another. Okay, so there was a card similar to this in a recent set, Wilds of Eldraine, which is a 2 mana blue sorcery that's tap target creature, put 3 stun counters on it. Which means that if it would go to upkeep, if it has any stun counter, if it would go to untap, if it has any stun counters on it, you instead remove a stun counter. Now they just made it again, and they made it better because now it also hits vehicles. Power creep, I swear. Haunt the Network. Choose target opponent. Create two 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. Then choose player who. Then the chosen player loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is the number of artifacts you control. You think I'm doing great? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. This could get very disgusting, especially if you're playing just a straight artifact deck. Reckless Velocitar, a Minotaur. 3/3 Minotaur Pilot. When this creature saddles a mount or cruise a vehicle during your main phase, that mount or vehicle gets +2/+0 and gains trample until end of turn. I like that. Another Transit Mage, another Rover Blades. Ooh, and we got a fun artwork showcase for the Guardian Sunmare. That's that's very nice. I like that. Foil Rider's End. This spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a tapped permanent, exile target creature or vehicle. It's very nice. Tranquil Grove, white blue, life gain land, and then this is a signed art card for the Speed Demon, which is also a very powerful legendary creature that I hope to pull. That was on game nights. Alrighty. Kickoff celebrations. Spin out, Loxodon Surveyor, Flood the Engine, Leonin Surveyor, not Survivor. Survivors were Duskmourn. Leonin Surveyor. Start your engines. During your turn, this creature has first strike, max speed, exile this card from your graveyard, and draw a card. There are a lot of. I wonder if that's a whole cycle, because I've seen a lot of creature cards that say when you're at max speed, exile it and draw a card. Like here, the Loxodon Surveyor. I think there's a Surveyor in each color that does that. I'll have to double check. We got Crash and Burn, Wreck Remover, Guide Light Synergist. Flash, this creature gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. So that could be really good. Rise from the Wreck. Return up to one target creature card, up to one target mount card, up to one target vehicle card, and up to one target creature card with no abilities from your graveyard to your hand. So this could potentially grab you up to 4 creatures. Dracosaur Auxiliary. Mendicant Core Guidelight. This is the rare creature from this set, from this color pairing for the set. Star 3. Mendicant Core's power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. Start your engines at max speed. When you cast an artifact spell, you may pay 1. If you do, copy it. My god, that's gross. Speaking of gross, this is the card I talked about at the beginning where it was in my pre-release deck. March of the World Ooze. 6 mana for an enchantment. Creatures you control have base power and toughness 6/6 and are oozes in addition to their other types. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if it's not their turn, you create a 3/3 green elephant creature token, which of course would immediately become a 6/6 elephant ooze. This card is nutty, this card is disgusting, and I absolutely love it. And now I have a second one that can go into a deck that I'm going to build way in the future. We got a foil Rangers Aether Hive. We got a foil Rugged Highlands, which is the red-green life gain land. We got an insect and an elephant. So here's the elephant. And I don't really talk about the token arts that much, but I love this elephant artwork because it looks like a mammoth. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that is the green mouse creature. Yeah, it is. You can see the stampeding Scurryfoot is right there, and then here's the 3/3 elephant, which is right there. I think that's really cool. It's really cute. All right, moving on. Keep on keeping on. Another bounce off. Really good. Collision Course. Clamorous Ironclad. 6/3 Menace with Crew 3 and cycling for 1 red. Risky Shortcut. Draw 2 cards. Each player loses 2 life. Ooh. Another Pothole Mole. Keen Buccaneer. Night Market. Unswerving Sloth. Thundering Broodwagon. Stock Up. Intimidation Tactics. Draconaut's Engineer. This has 2 exhaust abilities. And yeah, this one doesn't put a counter on it, so not all of them put counters on it. So 2-2. Hello, Triple G. Thank you for joining in the stream here. So we got this one has two exhaust abilities. The first one is just one red. Other creatures you control gain haste until end of turn and put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. And for 3 in a red, you make a 4/4 red dinosaur dragon creature token with flying. So if you have the 5 mana, you can do both at the same turn, make the token, and then give it haste. That's a pretty good card. I do like that one. Pride of the Road, Swiftwater Cliffs, and a token that's a pilot and vehicle. Love that. I think the Chandra Planeswalker is the one that makes those vehicle tokens. Oh, that's Gwen. Hi, Gwen. Thanks for stopping by. I thought that name looked familiar. Hello. Alrighty, we got Hull Drifter, Collision Course, Goblin Survey. Yeah, there's a surveyor for each color that when you hit max speed, you exile it from your graveyard and draw a card. Because this is a 3/2 with trample and start your engines. That does that. Risky Shortcut, Hazard of the Dunes, Burner Rocket, Walking Sarcophagus, Carrion Cruiser. When this vehicle enters, mill 2 cards, then return a creature or vehicle card from your graveyard to your hand, and has crew 1. Fuel the Flames deals 2 damage to each creature and cycling for 2. Memory Guardian, affinity for artifacts, 3/4 with flying. Dune Drifter. When this vehicle enters, return target artifact or creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So that's definitely something good for late game. Another Regal Imperiosaur, a foil Wickerfolk Indomitable, Plains, and a Thopter Servo token. I think it's my first Servo token. Keeping on trucking along here with more packs. We got Spot Cycle Scouter. Blech. Starting to lose my ability to speak. I've been going for over an hour and a half. End Rider Catalyzer, Grim Bauble. When this artifact enters, target creature and opponent controls gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Pay 2 and a black, tap, sacrifice this artifact to Surveil 2. That could be good. Broken Wings, Glitch Ghost Surveyor. Yeah, there's a Surveyor in each color. Thanks for checking it out here. I don't know if magic is your thing, but I appreciate you swinging by and saying hi. Yeah, I could say that. That rhymed, and I like that. Trip Up, Wreck Remover, Ranger's Refueler, Apocalypse Runner, 6/5 vehicle. Tap target creature you control with power 2 or less gains lifelink until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. That's a fun one. Roadside Assistance. Enchant creature or vehicle. When this aura enters, you make a 1/1 colorless pilot creature token. With this token saddles mounts and cruise vehicles as though its power were 2 greater. Spitting bars without even meaning to. Yes, I love that. And then Enchanted Permanent gets +1/+1 and has lifelink. That's very nice. Uh, Puts you to shame on live streams when you're. Am I complaining? Gina, do you put me on blast on your live streams? Is that what I'm understanding here? Am I getting shamed behind my back? Sky Serpent Seeker, 1/1 Flying Death Touch, exhaust, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal 2 land cards. Put those land cards onto the battlefield tapped and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order and put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Ooh, and we got another one of the new gods. Ketramos the New Dawn. 4/4 god with Menace, Lifelink, and Indestructible. Can't attack or block unless there are 7 or more cards in exile. It's talking about the length of time. Oh yeah, no, I've been on streams that have been over 2 hours, and that's been fine. I was just noting how long it's been and how many packs I still have to go. I thought the stream was honestly going to go on for a lot longer based on the number of packs I had to open. Just teasing you because you said you've been here for over an hour. Yeah, I know. Gina goes on for a lot longer than me. She's more experienced at this. Although I do go on to plenty of I did used to do a lot of TikTok live streams that for opening cards that went about this long or so. So this isn't nothing new that I'm not used to. Anyway, finishing reading off Ketramos here. Whenever one or more cards are put into exile from graveyards and or battlefields during your turn, you draw a card and lose one life. Again, a very powerful... I don't need to know about that. Yes, you do. You need to know about everything. We got a foil, Pedal to the Metal, a Swamp, and a Treasure and Thopter token. Uh, Alrighty, next pack here, we've got some unruly stacks here. That's what we got. Gibberic Omnivore, Spectral Interference, Spot Cycle Scouter, End Rider Catalyzer, Grim Bauble, Night Market, Guidelight Matrix, Slick Intimidator, a 1/3 ooze, max speed, at pay 1, sacrifice this creature, copy target spell you control, you may choose new targets for the copy. That could be a lot of fun. Fang Guardian, 4/2 with flash. When this creature enters, another target creature or vehicle you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Yeah, Gina gets it. Locust Spray, 1 mana, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, and cycling for 1. That could be good in my standard deck. Not too sure. Adrenaline Jockey. Whenever a player casts a spell, if it's not their turn, this creature deals 4 damage to them. Whenever you activate an exhaust ability, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. My goodness. Oh, one of my favorite cards from this set that I got to play with. Agonisaur Rex. I think it's supposed to be like Agony. Agonisaur Rex. 8/8 with Trample. Cycling for 2 and a green. When you cycle this card, put 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target creature or vehicle against Trample and Indestructible until end of turn. This is a game ender on its own or a fun combat trick to end the game. We've got a foil Aether Jacket, Dismal Blackwater, the blue-black life gain land, and we got a Thopter Goblin token. I'm hoping I can get the Aether Spark. That's like the one card that I'm like, if I only can get one card that I'm on the hunt for, I want it to be the Aether Spark. Let's see. Guidelight Optimizer, Broadcast Rambler, Gastel Blockbuster, Maximum Overdrive, Stamping Scurryfoot, Mutant Surveyor. Yeah. Each color has a Surveyor with a max speed to exile and draw. Ticket Tortoise, Ranger's Arc, Aether Hive, Cloudspire Captain, Sheffet Archfiend, Gastel Thrillseeker. He's focused on cards as he should be, and he isn't quite as... That's fair. I mean, I do try and keep an eye on chat when there are people in chat. It's just a lot of the times. So sometimes there's just nobody and I'm just talking to myself, but I still try and act like there are people. I always try and act like there are people in the chat because I never know if someone's just a lurker. And yeah, so Gastel Thrillseeker. Start your engines. When this creature enters, deals 1 damage to target opponent. You gain 1 life. Max speed. This creature has Death Touch and Haste. Mind Spring Merfolk. Exhaust ability. X blue blue. Tap, draw X cards. Put a +1/+1 counter on each Merfolk creature you control. Ooh, double rare. And this is probably my foil for the set, for the pack. Winter, Cursed Rider. Ward, pay 2 life. Artifacts you control have Ward, pay 2 life. Exhaust, 2 blue black. Tap, exile X artifact cards from your graveyard. Each other non-artifact creature gets -X until end of turn. That is very cool. Oh, I get another foil. Tranquil Grove, foil land. And this is Skyseer's Chariot artwork. It's very pretty. I enjoy the art cards. I don't know how many other people actually do, but I enjoy them. Okay. Yeah. Don't get random bits of plastic all over the apartment. Okay. Brightfield Mustang, Prowcatcher Specialist, Packdot Terror, Venom Sack Lagak, Midnight Mangler, Voyager Quick Welder, Fettleheart Bike, Dynamite Diver, Autark Mammoth, 5/5 Elephant Mount. When this creature enters and whenever it attacks while saddled, make a 3/3 green elephant. Also a very good card from my pre-release deck. You're doing awesome. Gwen's just being silly in the comments she made about, I don't need to know about that one over your head. Oh, gotcha. My bad. Still learning a lot of the lingo that you have with your friends and fans. Just nice to put a face to the name. Yep, it's me. We got a Reef Roads, Push the Limit. Return all mount and vehicle cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Sacrifice them at the beginning of your next end step. Vehicles you control become artifact creatures until end of turn. Creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. This definitely will end games. River Churn Monument. Pay 1, tap any number of target players, each mills 2 cards. Exhaust any number of target players, each mills cards equal to the number of cards in their graveyard. Ooh boy, that is a spicy card in the right deck. Foil Reef Roads, Windscarred Crag, and art card for Full Throttle. Look at Loot. Look at that little guy in the baby Bjorn in front. No, that's not even a baby Bjorn. That's just in the front of Chandra's shirt there. It's so adorable. A lot of people don't like Loot. They think that he looks too weird, but I love that little guy. Alrighty. Streaking Oligarch. Oil Gorger. Streaking Oil Gorger. Ugh. Words are becoming hard. Beast Rider Vanguard, Gear Seeker Serpent, Lotus Star Disciple, Gilded Goda, Spin Out. You gotta go. Thanks for stopping by, Gwen. Really appreciate it. Guidelight Matrix. Sundial, Dawn Tyrant. Got another one of those. Marauding Mako, Molt Tender, Showcase Spot Cycle Scouter. Love how that looks. Oop, accidentally grabbed the. Oh, and we got a Showcase Thopter Fabricator. Flying, when you draw your second card each turn, make a 1/1 colorless Thopter. The struggle with words, yeah. Sometimes you say the same word enough times, it starts to just become a jumbled mess in your mouth. We got a foil Chitin Gravestalker, foil Blossoming Sands, an art card for Mechadon Core Guideline. This must be the showcase of his card. I really like it. It looks cool. Alrighty. Skystreak Engineer, Leonin Surveyor, Lightning Strike, Siphon Fuel, Silken Strength, Migrating Ketchodon, Stall Out, Dredger's Insight, Road Rage. Deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker, where X is 2 plus the number of mounts and vehicles you control. That sounds like a very good card. Detention Chariot. Oh boy. When this vehicle enters, exile target artifact or creature in opponent controls until this vehicle leaves the battlefield. That's fun. Here's the blue legendary vanilla creature, Kalonra Coral Tyrant. It's a 0/8 octopus. Now I just need to pull one more, and that is the black one, which is the crocodile that is my favorite. Uh, Caradora, Caradora, Heart of Alacria. I still don't know how to pronounce that. Alastria. When Caradora enters, you may search your library for a mount or vehicle card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. If one or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature or vehicle you control, that many +1 are put on it instead. Foil Sky Crash, Bloodfell Caves, and a Pilot Zombie token. And now Jen and Jeremy are back with the Wendy's. Did you Wendy's successfully?
Uh-huh.
Did you get your Junior Frosty?
Yes, the Coke part of the freestyle. sound machine was not working, so this is cherry Dr. Pepper.
Oh no, what a nightmare.
They didn't know, so we wanted to make sure.
Also, they do not have pretzel buns right now.
I figured they didn't. Can you grab me another
Coaster?
coaster? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yay, food! Thanks, Gina. Oh, and I did set up my OBS to record as well, so hopefully after this is done, I can upload this stream to my YouTube channel. It's actually pretty simple once I looked up just how to do it. Also a setting to just automatically record when I stream. Alrighty. We've got Siphon Fuel, Silken Strength, Skystreak Engineer, Brightfield Glider, Lightning Strike, Veloheart Bike, Dynamite Diver, Momentum Breaker. Start your engines. When this enchantment enters, each opponent sacrifices a creature or vehicle of their choice. Each opponent who can't discards a card. 2 sacrifices enchantment. You gain life equal to your speed. That's a pretty nice one, especially if you're in a deck that, you're paying a lot of life. You can just use that to gain up to 4 life. Defend the Rider. Spire Mech Cycle. 5/4 haste, exhaust, tap another untapped mount or vehicle you control. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on it for each mount and or vehicle you control other than this vehicle. My, that's a powerful card there. Broadside Barrage. Oh, we got another Zahur, Glory's Past. Pretty cool there. Foil Spot Cycle Scouter, Jungle Hollow, and a Start Your Engines token. I hope I got all the tokens. I don't know how many tokens there are for the set, but I hope I got them all, because if I'm missing one, I would be upset. My tokens. Okay. Daring Mechanic, Goblin Surveyor, Grim Javelier. When it attacks, target attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. When that creature dies this turn, surveil one. It's pretty cool. Hazard of the Dunes, Nimblethopterist, Avishkar Raceway, Wreck Remover, Embalmed Ascendant. Thank you.
Did you want the coaster or is it for me?
I figured it would be for you because I told you to grab it. I'm assuming you got a flavor you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Embalmed Ascendant. 1/2 zombie with Start Your Engines. When this creature enters, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Max speed. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Love those kind of aristocrat effects. Well, this is cool. When this creature enters, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Exhaust. Pay Wooburg. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. That is a fun card, and it's perfect because my vehicle deck is 5 colors anyway, so that would work. Boosted Sloop. 3/3 menace. Whenever you attack, draw a card and discard a card. Atchik. Atchik. I think that's how you say it. Atchik Emerald Radian. This was actually my stamped card from the pre-release kit. It's got the 2025 stamp on it. When Atchik enters, create a 1/1 green insect creature token for each artifact and or creature card in your graveyard. Whenever another insect you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Atchik. Each opponent loses 1 life. Ooh, we got Showcase for Redshift. That looks really cool. Very cinematic. Foil Detention Chariot, Mountain, and the Dinosaur Dragon token on the back of a treasure. So I did still need a token. Now I hope that I got all the tokens. Alrighty. Plowing through these packs real quick. We're getting close to the 2-hour mark here. Keen Buccaneer, Daring Mechanic, Clamorous Ironclad, Grim Javelier, Pothole Mole, Scrap Compactor, Camera Launcher. Exhaust. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature or create a colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. Nice. Another Tarian. That's my 3rd Tarian. Tune Up. Another Tyrox. Roadside Blowout. Ooh! Bright Glass Gear Hulk. This is the one a lot of people were talking about. 4/4 with first strike and trample. When this creature enters, you may search your library for up to 2 artifact, creature, and or enchantment cards with mana value 1 or less. Reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle. Absolutely love that. We got a foil Avishkar Raceway, a full art Plains, a Thopter Cat token. Alright. Let's see. Ride's End. Magmakin Artillerist, Deathless Pilot, Bestow Greatness. Target creature gets +4/+4 and gains trample until end of turn. Look at that. Look at that big old corgi. I love that. Another bounce off. Night Market. Skybox Fairy. Amonkhet Raceway. Greenbelt Guardian. Guidelight Pathmaker. Glory Heath Lynx. And another regular Duretti. So yeah, Jared's definitely getting the Duretti. Foil Howler's Heavy. Foil Island. Ooh, Demonic Junker signed art. They're doing the you son of a bitch clap arms together meme. I love that. That is glorious. I want to show Jen and Jeremy that later when I'm done with this stream here. Alrighty. Got Broken Wings, Glitchko Surveyor, Ride's End, Magmakin Artillerist, Deathless Pilot, Bestow Greatness, Avishkar Raceway, Ancient Vendetta. Choose a card name. Search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that name and exile them. Then that player shuffles. So this is good if you're going against, in standard, if you're going against a person who you've played against their deck a bunch of times and you know what's in it, so you can just play that and get rid of all their important cards. Glory Heath Lynx, Wild Roads, Quagfest. Choose target creature, planeswalker, or vehicle. Mill 2 cards, then destroy the chosen permanent if its mana value is less than or equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. That is really powerful. We got another Marketback Walker, Foil Grim Bauble, Blossoming Sands, and a Start Your Engines token. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This pack included, I've got 8 packs left in this play box, and then we move on to the collector packs. Alrighty. Howler's Heavy, Brightfield Mustang, Prowlcatcher Specialist, Packdoll Terror, Venom Sack Lagak, Midnight Mangler, Mutant Surveyor, Ticket Tortoise, Hellish Sideswipe, Alacrian Armory, Sky Crash. Ooh, we got Far Fortune End Boss. This is basically the Mad Max team leader. Start your engines. Whenever you attack, Far Fortune deals 1 damage to each opponent. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, deals that much damage +1 instead when you're at max speed. Ugh. I'm losing cards. Oh no. That's actually pretty good. We got a foil stall out, a foil forest, and a start your engines token. Blah. All right. Next up, we've got Thunderhead Gunner, Ripclaw Wrangler, Gibberick Omnivore, Spectral Interference, Spot Cycle Scouter, Night Market, Skybox Fairy, Hour of Victory. God, that almost reminded... I almost thought of the Hour of Joy from Poppy Playtime. God, that's a complete different tone shift. That would have belonged in Duskmourn. Hour of Victory. Start your engines. When this enchantment enters, make a 2/2 black zombie creature token. At max speed, it's a tutor. Sack this enchantment, search your library for a card, put in your hand, then shuffle. Fun. Aether Siphon. That is just straight up a mechanical shark in that artwork. I love that. Start your engines, pay 2, tap, draw a card, max speed. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent mills 2 cards. It's pretty nice. Point the Way. Veteran Beast Rider. At the beginning of your upkeep, at the beginning of your end step, untap each creature you control. 2 green white. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Pretty nice. Wastewood Verge, the black green Verge land. Foil Glitch Coach Surveyor, Forest, and art card for Seat of Varma. We're definitely at the point of the stream where I'm able to just list off a bunch of cards real quick because I've seen most, if not all, the commons or uncommons in the set. So I'm able to just get through these really quickly. Loxodon Surveyor, Skystreak Engineer, assuming I can actually read the card names. Leonin Surveyor, Lightning Strike, Siphon Fuel, Wreckage Wickerfolk, Interface Ace. Here's the Crocodile. This is my favorite of the legendary vanilla creatures. Calaxian Hunger Tyrant, a 7/2 Crocodile. I really want to put this in my Crocodile deck. Spike Shell Harrier, Cloud Spire Coordinator. When this creature enters Scry 2, tap, create X 1/1 colorless pilot creature tokens where X is the number of mounts and or vehicles that entered the battlefield on your control this turn. Well, that's fun. Plow Through. Oh, this is a card I was really hoping I would pull. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to manifest any negative energy towards it. Radiant Lotus. 6 mana. Tap. Sacrifice 1 or more artifacts. Choose a color. Target player adds 3 mana of the chosen color for each artifact sacrificed this way. That's a very good card, and I'm very happy to have pulled that. We got a foil Ancient Vendetta, full art forest, and a zombie elephant token. Alrighty. Alright. Flood the Engine, Brightfield Glider, Crash and Burn, Engine Rat, Run Over, Guidelight Optimizer, Light Wheel Enhancements, Rocketeer Boost Buggy. When this vehicle attacks, make a treasure token. Exhaust. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. Very fun. Pace Setter Paragon. Exhaust 2 and a red. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It gains double strike until end of turn. Back on Track. Return target creature or vehicle card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Create a 1/1 colorless pilot creature token. Ooh, we got Showcase Ripclaw Wrangler. That looks very nice. Love that. Crypt Caller Chariot. 5/5 vehicle with menace. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, create that many tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. Love that. And then we got an island. Oh, I knew I missed something. I accidentally threw away a foil Lotus Guard Disciple. Then we got art card for Kaladin Triumph Caster. Alright, 4 more packs of the box, and then we go to the collector packs. And then that is a successful stream. Alrighty, Maximum Overdrive, Run Over, Guidelight Optimizer, Broadcast Rambler, Gastel Blockbuster, Migrating Tetradon, Stall Out, Risen Necrogent, Pit Automaton, Trade the Helm, Thundering Broodwagon, Basri Tomorrow's Champion. So we got tap, pay a white and tap, exert Basri, create a 1/1 white cat creature token with lifelink. And it's got cycling. When you cycle this card, cats you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Fun little cat theme. Foil Thunderhead Gunner, an island, and a Thopter Servo token. Yeah. Oop, I saw that the back of this token was another Chandra emblem. I hope I get a Chandra. Swiftwing Assailant, Kickoff Celebrations, Starting Column, Streaking Oil Gorger, Beast Rider Vanguard, Wreck Remover, Wreckage Wickerfolk, Endrider Spike Spitter, Spell Pierce, Pride of the Road, Ooze Patrol, Another Winter, Foil Gasteel Blockbuster, Foil Mountain, and a Vehicle Chandra token. Alright. second to last pack of the box here. See if there's going to be any more goodies. Gearseeker Serpent, Swiftwing Assailant, Streaking Oil Gorger, Beast Rider Vanguard, Nimblethopterist, Lotus Guard Disciple, Scrap Compactor, Camera Launcher, Elvish Refueler. During your turn, as long as you haven't activated an exhaust ability this turn, you may activate exhaust abilities as though they haven't been activated. Exhaust, put a plus. So this card just lets you without even needing to flicker a card, lets you activate exhaust abilities again. That's actually really cool. I like that tech there. Sabotage Strategist. Sabotage Strategist. Flying Vigilance 2/2. Whenever you attack with whenever one or more creatures attack you, those creatures get -1/-0 until end of turn, and then exhaust for 7 to put 3 counters on it. Wretched Doll, pay 1 and tap Surveil 1. Sky Seer's Chariot. Flying, as this vehicle enters, choose a non-land card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name cost 2 more to activate. Oh, that could screw up somebody's plans right there. Foil Gastel Thrill Seeker, Rugged Highlands, and a pilot vehicle token. Okay, we're on the last pack of the booster box, and then it's just the 3 collector booster packs that we have to open. Alrighty. Light Shield Parry, Pedal to the Metal, Chitin Gravestalker, Alacrian Jaguar, Hull Drifter, Collision Course, Migrating Ketrodon, Grease Wrench Goblin. Exhaust 2 in a red, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Wicker Folk Indomitable, Gallant Strike. Destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater and cycling for 2. Ooh, Showcase Dune Drifter. That's pretty nice. And a Showcase Venrext. And a foil Quag Feast. Dismal Backwater, and a Thopter Goblin Token. Okay, those were pretty good pulls with that last pack, not gonna lie. At least the cards looked cool. But anyway, we have the final 3 packs of this stream, and they are the collector boosters. We're gonna set this one to the side because this is the one that I purchased separately. We're gonna start with these 2 that were from the finish line bundle. Alrighty, and my suspicions have been confirmed that the rares are in the front, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna pull these from the back. Alrighty, so we got a foil Flood the Engine, a foil Brightfield Glider, foil Streaking Oil Gorger, foil Gibrick Omnivore. Hey, Italian, welcome back. We are almost done with the stream. Actually, I'm just opening up the collector booster packs now, and I'm going through the first one right now. Oh, Tal, gotcha. We got a foil Spike Shell Harrier, foil Air Response Unit, foil Reckless Velocitar, foil Full Art Planes, Showcase Marshall's Path Cruiser. Oh, that's the 5-color one. That's nice. I might actually put this one in my vehicle deck. Foil Showcase Skybox Fairy. Then we got a foil Bleach Bone Verge. Yeah, I definitely now have enough of these to put some in my trade binder. Ooh, we got the face commander for the zombie precon deck. This is one of the commander cards from that. You used to be able to pull them in the packs, the regular packs, when they were draft boosters and set boosters. But now that they've been combined into play boosters, now they don't add them because you can't play with the commander cards in limited formats. But now, so now they're only available in collector boosters. But this is cool to get. Temet Noctimon's Will. Words. uh, Zombie Wizard, Vigilance and Menace. Whenever you attack, draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever you draw a card, zombies you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. That's very cool. I'm sad that it's already starting to pringle. Uh, with creature identifiers, does it count as both a zombie and a wizard for cards that impact those types? Yes. For the most part, yes. The only exceptions are like there's a card that says there's a card Coat of Arms where it's creatures get +1/+1 for each creature that shares a creature type with it. So if you had say you had Tenet and another zombie wizard on the field, um, it sees that the other zombie wizard, the two creatures see that they are both zombies, that they share at least one creature type, so they would only get +1/+1 off of each other. If you have two zombie wizards, they don't get +1/+1 for each type. They only get +1/+1 for each creature that shares at least one creature type. But yeah, other than that, if you say, if you play cards that say target zombie or cards that say target wizard, you could target Temet. Alrighty, we got a showcase Thopter Fabricator. Ooh, we got a borderless Mu Yanling Wind Rider, which I didn't realize this card. This card was a Planeswalker card. I kind of want to look into what her Planeswalker cards did, because you can see you can kind of see the desparked Planeswalker symbol there. That means she was a Planeswalker, but she has since lost her spark after the Phyrexian invasion. So this is a human wizard pilot. When this creature enters, create a 3/2 colorless vehicle creature token with crew 1. Vehicles you control have flying. Whenever one or more creatures with you control with flying deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. That is pretty cool. And then we got a foil showcase Venrix and a foil zombie elephant token. All right, the second of the collector booster packs from the bundle. Alrighty, so we've got a foil Daring Mechanic, foil Windscarred Crag, foil Lightning Strike, foil Ticket Tortoise, foil Glory Heath Lynx, foil Momentum Breaker, foil Cloudspire Sky Cycle, foil Full Art Island, Showcase Broadcast Rambler, foil Showcase Broadcast Rambler. Thanks, Wizards. Thank you. I do my best to explain whatever I know. There are definitely a lot of mechanics and things that I don't know about because, like I said, I started playing in high school about 2011, 2012. But then when I got into college, that started a almost 10-year break. So there was a big chunk of Magic that I'm not familiar with. But what I do know, I do try my best to answer. All right, we have a foil River Churn Monument. We have, ooh, this is from the zombie precon deck. Wizened Mentor, 2/2 zombie cleric. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a permanent that isn't a mana ability, you create a 1/1 white zombie creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Nice. Ooh, we got a showcase for Basri Tomorrow's Champion. Looks pretty cool. Another showcase Redshift. We got a foil showcase Possession Engine. When this creature enters, gain control of target creature an opponent controls for as long as you control this vehicle. That creature can't attack or block for as long as you control this vehicle. In crew 3. So that's nice. So you could essentially, I agree. Good and clear answers. Thank you very much. Possession Engine seems like a really good card to play with. And then we got a foil treasure / Thopter token. Alrighty. Down to the final pack. Please have an Aether Spark. I really would love to get an Aether Spark card. All right. Here we go. We got a foil Deathless Pilot, a foil Leonin Surveyor, foil Guidelight Optimizer, foil Beast Rider Vanguard, foil Pride of the Road, foil Dune Drifter, foil Defend the Rider, foil Full Art Swamp, showcase Hull Drifter, like that, foil showcase Rangers Aether Hive. We got a foil Ketramos. That's really cool. I like that. Well, you don't know, you research very well. Yeah, I do try my best to keep on top of a lot of Magic things because I like being able to answer questions. Oh, we got a second Wizen Mentor. That's a bit of a unfortunate, but that's all right. Showcase Boommobile. When this vehicle enters, add 4 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to activate abilities. Exhaust X. This vehicle deals X damage to any target. Put a +1/+1 counter on this vehicle. It's pretty cool. We got Showcase Kaladin Triumph Caster. Vehicle and mounts you control have haste. When a mount you control enters, it becomes saddled until end of turn. When a vehicle you control enters, it becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Very nice. And I think I saw a little bit spoiler of this card. I think this card is going to be very cool. It's... Oh! Okay. I'm no longer upset that I didn't get an Aether Spark. This is cool. This is a Fracture foil Mu Yanlin Wind Rider. I don't know how expensive this is going to be because I don't know how good of a card it is overall, but I'm just going to quickly TCG player Mu Yanling Wind Rider Fracture. Okay. Okay. Um so this card's worth over $100 currently. Current market price value is $107.14. That is very gorgeous. I love that. Yeah, so it has fallen in price. Did you make back your purchase cost with the box overall? So I'm not too sure. I would need to like check all of the like all the rares and mythics and all the special artworks and see if I did. But uh, I will say that this one card, even though it didn't come from the finish line bundle, this is worth more than the finish line bundle. So I definitely made my money back on at least that. So that's not something that I normally care about too much. But it is nice to see very pretty cards like this. So yeah, that definitely makes up for the fact that I didn't get an Aether Spark. I do want an Aether Spark eventually just because that's such a nutty card. Oh, yeah, foil Thopter Goblin Token. That was the last one. But yeah, goodness. That's very pretty. Do I have a sleeve? Hold on. Think I have a I think I had a clear sleeve. Yeah, because I pulled there it is. Yeah, because I pulled out the buy a box promo that this was in. I'm just going to until I can file this away, I'm just going to put that in a penny sleeve right there so it's nice and protected until I can put it in the binder. Okay, so that straight up was I think my second best final pack opening of a stream. I was getting the vicarious experience of opening a box again, hence my question about rarity. We also usually had a printout of the most recent cost just so we know what we were getting way back in the day. Yeah, that's kind of what people do as well with looking at TCG Player. Hi, Gwen, welcome back. You just missed. I just pulled this very pretty, very expensive card out of my last collector pack. It's a special fractured foil art foiling of this artwork, and it's currently worth over $107. So that's why I decided to put it in a penny sleeve to protect it. Um, but yeah, so yeah, this was my second favorite. That was my second favorite final pack of a stream ever. The only one that beats it is back when I did the Lost Caverns of Ixalan last year. God, yeah, that was last year. The last card that I opened was a neon green color showcase artwork for a no, that was for the Cavern of Souls. I opened up a special guest Mana Crypt. But yeah, no, the Cavern of Souls was in the last pack, I think. One of those was in the last pack, but it was still very cool to open those up. What sleeves do I use for my play decks? I'm pretty partial to Dragon Shield. They are uh, the matte sleeves for the Dragon Shield. I find are very easy to shuffle up, and I also love their sleeve crafter function. I have several decks that I've done custom sleeves. Do you have an example handy? Yes, actually, I can grab one of my decks real quick. Let me just grab this one. Yeah, this is actually a deck that I built for last year's Pride event, which the thing for that was you were supposed to build a deck with two cards that didn't have with any two card you could build your commander deck as though any cards had a partner. So I built Gimli and Legolas from the Lord of the Rings set because these two should have had partners with because this is the scene in the movie where they're trying to outdo each other with kills. But yeah, so these are the I believe these are just the gold sleeves for these are just regular gold color sleeves for Dragon Shield. But yeah, I love how they shuffle. It's a bit difficult to shuffle a commander deck one-handed. Yeah, that still only counts as one. Yeah, I love. I can kind of understand why they didn't give partner because, like, they don't necessarily mesh well. Like their abilities don't. Oh, I mean, they kind of do because Gimli says when a creature an opponent controlled dies, deals one damage to that creature's controller, and Legolas is when a creature an opponent controls dies, it puts +1/+1 counter on this. So, and yeah, I love the flavor text of both of these. Gimli's is 21, cried Gimli. He hewed a two-handed stroke and laid the last orc before his feet. Now my count passes Master Legolas. Two, said Legolas, that makes my tale 20 at the least. What's the mat on the back? So it's the texture of the sleeve. You can kind of see it. You can kind of hear how I'm like scratching on the back. The classic sleeves are more of a slick back, and they kind of get a bit more sticky with each other. So I like the matches because it's a lot easier to shuffle uh, than something that has a slick kind of glossy back on it. Uh, yeah, that's why I prefer. I guess I kind of just prefer matte sleeves in general, but I mostly buy Dragon Shield, mainly because that's what my local game store has in terms of sleeves. They do have other products for sleeves, but Dragon Shield is my go-to for that. And then, like I said, sounds nice to play with, especially for long durations at tournaments. Yeah, when I'm doing, I bought a box of just regular black matte Dragon Shield sleeves for my draft decks when I do Friday night drafts, and just in between games and in between rounds, I'm just sitting there just shuffling my deck, just something to do with my hands, and it makes it really easy, especially since those are just 40 card decks. Yeah, I actually am going to take this deck apart because, um, the Pride event it was last year in June, and I'm also just going to use these sleeves for the newest deck that I built for that I'm going to be taking with me to MagicCon next weekend, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then yeah, I can just use. Actually, I'm not going to use this box because this is supposed to be for my Doctor Who Commander deck precons that I got for my birthday when they came out. Yeah, definitely sweet. So yeah, that is a successful Magic the Gathering box opening stream. Thanks guys for coming in and saying hi. I'm hoping to do more streams like this in the future, and more specifically, figuring out how to properly like set up to do, computer games. There are a couple of games coming out in the future that I want to do. It got you followed now. I appreciate the follow. Tell your friends, tell people in the Discord. Uh, because yeah, mainly I do Magic, but I am also probably going to be branching out into other kinds of video games. But Magic is mainly my bread and butter when I do this kind of stuff. That's mainly why I started making content on TikTok. Actually, was Magic and also Dungeons and Dragons. So I could probably just talk your ear off about D&D, Magic, all that kind of thing. Just a nice kind of like chill stream. That's kind of what my goal is with opening packs like this. Is just look at cool cards, and open up some cool cards and talk. Shoot the shit. PC Master Racer console pleb. So I currently just have a laptop. I don't actually have a proper desktop. One, money, and two, space. My goal is to build my own gaming computer at some point. Maybe get my brother-in-law to help me because he's offered support on that to do that. Although when the Switch 2 does come out, and it is going to, and more games are on that, I am probably going to figure out how to connect the Switch 2 to my laptop and try and stream some games like that. Just because, yeah, my other biggest vice for gaming is Pokemon because I grew up with that. I love that. So yeah, it's it's mostly just going to be PC gaming until I can get the Switch 2 and then figure out how to hook that up, and then I'll also try and do some Switch games. But yeah, I've got Wendy's by my feet and it smells delicious. If you are streaming games, you're going to want a decent amount of power. Yes. Right now, like this can pretty much handle just like streaming off of this and then Steam games, I think. Yeah, because at least this wasn't my old laptop that was over a decade old and was so clunky that I had to buy an Xbox controller to play Uno because it was faster to play with a controller than to point and click with my mouse on my old laptop. That's how bad that laptop was. It only the only reason I actually the biggest reason why I upgraded my laptop was because at one point the hinge had started to break a little bit, and then it actually fell off of my couch and was it. One of the hinges just broke completely, and so the screen and the body of the laptop was like hanging on by one hinge. So I'm like, okay, taking this to Best Buy, getting a brand new laptop. They're gonna take all the data from the old laptop on the new one, and then I just re-download any of the apps because they Best Buy can only do like files. They can't actually download transfer over apps. So I had to download, Discord, OBS, Steam, a lot of other things that I did. But yeah, and I was used to that because I had just recently updated my work laptop because it was also the hinge was breaking and it was old and just wanted something new that didn't take 3 minutes to open up uh, AutoCAD TrueView that I need for my work. Vanheim, Craft Aperia, Pal World, free to hit me up. I don't play Pal World. I do have my roommates. They play Pal World on PlayStation. I think it's cross-platform, but yeah, I've thought about giving Pal World a try. I might give it a try on my own, see if it's something I want to play on stream. But with the Nintendo lawsuit, maybe we'll see if that game even exists in a year or so. Who knows? But yeah, I'm gonna eat because I also need to make sure I do my grocery shopping before within the next 3 hours because I'm gonna be playing on another streamer's stream playing some Commander. That's gonna start in the next 3 hours. So I'm gonna make sure to eat, get my grocery shopping done, and then clean all this up so I have counter space to play Magic. Have good nubs, and we'll catch you later. Excellent. Thank you, Tal. Thanks, Gwen, if you're still here. Thank you, Gina. I will talk to you all later. Bye, everyone. Have a good day. Bye bye.